Hello everybody. In our previous video we talked about how to use Supertrend along with MACD and how to set up our trades, which means what is going to be the criteria to buy and what is going to be the criteria to sell. And as you remember, we discussed three options or three rules that we need to follow for buy and three rules we need to follow to make a sell decision. Today I'm going to walk you through and see how you can apply them when making a decision. So let's go backwards into our chart and try to backtrack and see how we should apply that decision. Let's take an example of this buy signal appearing over here. Now, as we discussed, that if an up arrow appears, that means it's a buy signal and this is when you should buy. But before you should make that decision, you must go and see what is the histogram showing. In this case, the histogram is green, which means your second criteria has been met. Now let's look for our third criteria, which was our MACD line and control line. Now these two lines, as you can see, are still below the zero line. And whenever these lines are below zero line, that means we do not have an upward trend yet. We need to wait and make sure that the market follows through and the trend continues. Now, when these lines approach the zero line and are about to intersect the zero line, that's when you should make your buy decision. So now you see that you have your buy signal. It still exists. You do not have a sell signal until now. Your histogram is still green, and now your MACD line is crossing the zero line and your control line is crossing the zero line. That means this is when you should make your buy decision and buy the stock at this point. Then you will follow through and continue holding that stock until our sell criteria is met. So in this case, you see a sell signal appearing on this day, which is 22nd August. And even before that, you see that the line has intersected and the histogram is about to go red. But as soon as the line has intersected, this is the day when you should make the sell decision. And you see that if you apply this rule, you will get out at this point rather than at this price on 22nd. So you must get out on 19th August and you'll be in a better position and take your profit. Now, let's go further and see what happens next. So you've sold your stock over here and now you're waiting for the next buy signal. And the trend over here still shows red line. You can see these two lines are pointing downward, indicating a downward trend. Histogram is red, again pointing that stock is in downward trend. And you see that there is a buy signal appearing over here. Now, let's check if it meets our criteria. The buy signal appears, first criteria for our buy setup met. However, the histogram is still red and MACD lines are still below zero. That means we should not go and buy. And that's exactly what I was talking about, filtering out the noise from the Supertrend. So MACD helps you filter out that noise and optimizes your decision making. Let's carry on forward. So at this point, as I mentioned, we will not make that buy decision. We will wait. And here again, we see another buy signal appearing. And again, histogram is green, which is our second criteria, that means has met. However, the MACD and control lines are still below zero, which means this is false. This is a false signal and we should not make a buy decision because our criteria did not meet. However, when this line approaches here and touches it, that's exactly when we can still go and buy in because our criteria met. But then you see that this trade did not follow through and the trend did not continue. And soon after that, the trend started falling and dropping and the price started dropping, and you will see that the trend has changed and therefore a sell signal appears as well as the line started dipping, and probably at this point, when the sell signal appears, you will sell it. This probably will not be a profitable trade. However, I would advise everybody to use a stop loss and get out of a stock if it's not meeting your criteria or going below your buy price. So this is the discipline that you must make in any trade. Again, if we follow through, we saw another buy signal appearing. Of course, the trend over here is still downward because our MACD line control line is still below zero, so we will not buy the stock until at this point when the line is crossing the zero line. However, this was a very short-lived trend, and a sell signal appears again, and therefore we had to sell. Again, you will see a buy signal appearing over here. However, the criteria is not met because the control line and MACD line is still below zero, so you will not buy until at this point when the lines are crossing. And once you cross, this time the trend did follow through and continue until the sell signal appeared. But however, if you look at this, our criteria for selling the stock or getting out of this trade was met right here, well before the sell signal appeared. So, and that criteria was that the lines intersected and the trend was about to change. So you will sell at this point rather than wait for a sell signal because the lines have already intersected. And this is exactly what we talked about in our trade setup. So before making any trade, making any buy decision or a sell decision, you must keep into account these three criterias to enter a trade and to exit a trade. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos on how to use SuperTrend and how to optimize your trading. Thank you very much.